want it all. Said I need patience, I told him wait, answer the call. Born for this since I was chosen to fall. The young and they always wanted to see fall. Do it, I'm moving, just pat me the ball. Living unfiltered, my life is too raw. Passing the bar like I'm studying law. They'll know my name by the time that I'm gone. See, I work for this, they knew I had dedication. Manifest prayer and daily meditation. It took me time, I had no problem waiting. I was just sitting there, don't let it take. I had to take a basic fundamental, only when I made it. I don't really gotta say it. When I told him I was pacing, all my life I had to do it. It don't mean no delegation. I remember all the days when I was hungry, when I'm facing the rise of a champion, chasing the glory. I hear the chants in the crowd, they adore me. I feel the beast inside of me dormant, about to unleash in all of its forces. Putting in the time, then I wait for the moment. They cannot question my heart of devotion. I'm a ticking time bomb, ready for explosion. But silent making moves, set my plan up in the motion. Witness the rise. I go to battle with them, and my skill is something that cannot be denied. Rise. They want me dead or in prison. See, I got the will in me, I will survive. Rise. Want us to give up and fold. I cannot obey, no, I will not oblige. Rise. Came from the ashes of hell. They know when it's futile. Why did they try? Rise. I am beyond, I am the one they all fear, the one for destruction they cause when he's gone. The one here to save him, it won't be long. When he here getting ready, better ring that gong. Don't stop trying to put him in a box, in a lock with a weave that's a permanent knot. I'ma crash out, go until I pass out. I will never die knowing I was in the background. Only one shot, I won't back down. Background, yeah, I'm on the path now. Hit him any minute with a shot, they know I'm tagged out. Way too independent, I ain't never need a handout. I'ma keep on going till I know and I'ma stand out. They ain't take me serious, I was just a class clown. Now I'm in the place when the race too fast now. Cause I'm putting out blood, sweat, tears paid out. Now they want time, making sure they...
Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Niners Sickness Show named Let's Talk Niners with Niners Sickness. Welcome everyone. Welcome to my first NFL mock draft here on my channel. Let's have fun on a Sunday afternoon. Before we start, I just want to say for a lot of you that are tuning in, happy Easter Day for a lot of you. Happy Easter. And for the rest of us, a happy Resurrection Day. All glory to God. We're going to have fun, guys. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk prospects that the Niners should take. Whether the Niners take these players or not, most likely not. But I'm going to try to really put my head inside the GM room and just think, okay, based on the players that I see on the board, who is the best fit for your San Francisco 49ers? Who's going to make the most impact to the 49ers? This player over that player. Regardless of what direction the Niners actually go, this is my perspective as a GM. I would like to know in the comments whether you agree with me or disagree. It's all good in the hood. You can agree or disagree. Let me know in the comments. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. I love to stay involved in the comments. So make sure to support your boy in the comments and talk to me. Let's go ahead and welcome David Villa in the house. Let's go ahead and welcome, real quick, John Briggs in the house. Welcome, sir. Let's go ahead and welcome Ariel. Welcome. We got Brian Goodwin in the house. Welcome, sir. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have fun all after this.
And he runs out across the 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone! It is intercepted! The 49ers have the football! Touchdown! He's into the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers! San Francisco!
Let's go. Let's go 49ers. It is the off season. It is going to be draft pretty soon. We are in April. The way I like to say is Christmas in April. I don't know about you guys, but for me, The draft is Christmas. In April, we get to open our presents in April to see who the Niners actually take, whether we agree or disagree with the Niners pick. It's always going to be a mystery until the pick is in. And to me, that's like going and running to the Christmas tree to see what Santa Claus brought me for Christmas. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some fun. Buckle up. Here we go. Let's go into the draft room. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right, here we are in the draft room. Let me get everything situated. Give me 1 second. Osmo Pocket 3. There we go. So everybody's watching me vertical and horizontal. I am everywhere where you get your media. YouTube, X, IG. Make sure to support me in all the channels. All right, so let's go ahead and bring the screen in. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Let me get this out of the way. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, here we go. Let me move this out of the way. Let me get my screen in here. And here we go. All right, here we go. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is having a good time. Give me 1 second. Am I on the right screen? All right, here we go. Why am I frozen? Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, little technical difficulties, but we are good to go. Now that I'm running multiple channels, it gets a little crazy, but here we go. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Let me know in the comments if you guys can see the screen. Good. I'm going to try to make it as big as possible. Let me know in the comments how you see the screen, what you're thinking, what your thoughts, and we're going to go from there. So the Niners 7th round draft pick. We're picking the Niners, picking at 27. Let's go ahead and enter the draft. We're not going to make no trades right here. We're going to start the draft to see what falls on the board. There we go. So this is the board as it falls. These are the players that are available to us in this particular mock draft. And we're going to see what the Niners need to do. Now, the Niners last year, they went ahead and took 5 defensive players, right? They went ahead and took 5 defensive players. And give me a second. They went defense. Let me bring this down a little bit right there. They went defense, and defense. Why? Because they let go a lot of the players last year, and obviously they cut a lot of the fat, so to speak, and they cut those contracts, and they needed to pick up some players. They picked up Mikael Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West. They picked up other players alongside the defense, Upton Stout, to name a few. And they worked out. They did. Now, Mikael Williams got injured. It sucked that he got injured. He didn't get to develop properly the whole year, kind of the way that Alfred Collins did, and CJ West. But I expect big things out of Mikael Williams. Now, Mikael Williams was drafted to set the edge and stop the run. And in the NASCAR package, they're going to move him inside and have him go after the quarterback. But the whole purpose of Mikael Williams for me is to develop into a pass rusher, but to start off defending the run, setting the edge, and the wide nine. That was his purpose of being drafted. Alfred Collins, to plug up the middle, to let the linebackers do their job. What did we suffer the year before? Not last year, but the year before. Stopping the run. We couldn't stop the run, so we went and got some run stoppers, and we were able to do that. Unfortunately, we ran into a lot of injuries, and our pass rush was terrible. So where did the 49ers suffer this past year? Getting to the quarterback. Happy Easter to everybody that is walking in. Welcome, welcome. So we suffered getting to the quarterback. We didn't give that much pressure. The quarterbacks were able to do what they wanted to do. Old man Rivers with the Colts came out of retirement, and he looked like a Hall of Famer all over again. Now, part of it was we lost Nick Bosa, our best pass rusher. We lost Fred Warner. Amongst players, it was tough. We need to get after the quarterback. My question to you, though, will the Niners, I know what I'm going to draft, will the Niners take a tackle? Will the Niners surprise everyone and take a tackle at number 27? The fact that Trent Williams is getting older, we're already dealing with his contract. Do we take a tackle, develop that tackle to eventually take over for Big Trent? Or do we go defensive end? Do we go receiver? Do we go safety? Now, the Niners haven't taken a safety in the first round since, I'm trying to think of the kid back in the Harbaugh days. From LSU. Let me know in the comments if you know who I'm talking about. Shanahan and Lynch can't resist taking an edge rusher. So that's what they will do at 27. Now, Mike McClincy was taken. Now, we're talking about Shannon, of course. But they've taken other positions in the first round. They are more notorious known to take a pass rusher. Now, in this case, we do need a pass rusher, right? In this case, we need a pass rusher. So let's see what's on the board. Let me bring the board up a little bit bigger. Let me know if you guys can see the board. I'm trying to bring the board as big as I can. All right. So we have Cassius Hall, defensive end, Texas A&M. We have Caden Proctor, tackle, Alabama. We got TJ Parker, edge rusher, Clemson. We got Max, tackle, Arizona State. We got Denzel Boston, a receiver that the Niners did bring in for an interview. We got Casey Compton from Texas A&M. Now, this kid is known for dropping the ball, but he's a great separator. This kid can get open with the best of them. But if he can't catch the ball, I don't care how open you get. If you don't catch the ball, it means nothing. Right? We got to catch the ball. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are too hyped on KC than I am. I don't think the Niners are going to take him at number 27, as a lot of people think they are. What are your thoughts in the comments? Do you think the Niners go receiver at number 27? Do they go defensive end? Or what position do you think they go? Now let's look at David McNider. What's up, brother? I don't know if I said hello to you yet or not, but welcome to the show, brother. Who are the Niners going to take first? Now let's look at the trade before we make any type of decision. So Miami Dolphins are offering their 30 for our 27. So we're moving down 2 spots. Let's see what they have to offer. So we give up our 27 for their 30. We're still picking in the first round. Would they give us 75? Probably not. They'll give us, let's see if they give us 87 and 151. All right. So they gave us 87, Phillies 87 and their own 151 to move 2 steps down. Let's see who we lost. Okay. Let's see who we lost here. So they took at 27, they took Denzel Boston, the receiver. Now the Niners were probably not going to go receiver with their pick. So they did. We got 2 picks to move 2 spots. The other player that went to the Texans was T.J. Parker and Caden Proctor, the tackle. Cassius Howell is still on the board. Now, I don't know about you, but I think the Niners are going to go defensive end in the first round. I know a lot of people saying safety, a lot of people saying receiver. I'm going to go ahead and take Cassius Howell with the number 1 pick. Let's see what else is down here. You got a couple of good players, but I'm going to go ahead and take Cassius. There we go. All right, so now we're at pick 58. Let's see who's available at 58. Oh, and I forgot to do I keep forgetting to do my draft soundbite. All right, so we took a defensive end. Now, remember, the defensive end that we need him to come in on 3rd down and just pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. Our starting DN is going to be Nick Bosa and Mikael Williams. The guy that we just took, Cassius, he's going to come in on 3rd down and just pin his ears back and get after the quarterback. So that's who we need. Now, we got Jennings Bunker, Iowa tackle, which I like. Bryce Lance. What does that name sound familiar? That's the brother of Trey Lance, who we took 3rd overall a few years back that none of us want to remember. Now, if they do take Bryce Lance and give him number 5, that means I can reuse my jersey that has been hidden in the closet. So you got Joshua Joseph, a good tackle, a defensive end. We already took a defensive end. We're not going to take 2 in a row. You got Derek Moore. You got Daniel Dennis Sutton. I like this receiver. I love this receiver out of Clemson, Antonio Williams. And Elijah Sarratt out of Indiana. But I'm going to take our tackle to sit behind Trent Williams and learn and eventually take over. We got our pass rusher on situational downs. They can go after the quarterback on 3rd down and Cassius. Now let's go ahead and build our offensive line for the future, right? We got to take the future. I'm going to take Jennings. Now, There's no trades offered in this round, so we're going to take Buckner. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me. Let me know in the comments. I honestly think that offensive tackle at 27, but someone that can play left guard while Trent Williams is still here. I have somebody in mind, but that particular player is going to be in the later rounds. Now, we took our tackle that could play guard in Dunker, excuse me. Let's see how he turns out for us. Crazy Jew says, Jennings is available. No, he's not. We took him. And I forgot to do it again. It's all right. I'll eventually get it sometime before this show's over. All right. So we are picking 87, a pickup that we got in that trade with Miami. So you got Sam Hatchett, center out of Kansas State. You got Devin Moore, corner. Anthony Hill, linebacker. Farmer from Kentucky. I like this guard. You got Jake Slater, Florida Gators, center. You got L.T. Overton, Alabama defensive end. I am not high on this kid, me personally. Let me know your thoughts on this player. Kieran Crawford, I don't know if I said his first name right or wrong, out of Auburn. Logan Jones, center, out of Iowa. I like this kid. I like this kid a lot. We need a center. He's 6'3", 302. He's 24. He'll be 25. Kind of up there. What are you guys' thoughts on Logan? Now, it's a little too high to take a center, but I just wanted to point him out. So we have taken Cassius Howe, defensive end, with the 30th overall in the first round because we traded down with the Miami Dolphins for those that came in late. We took Jennings, tackle out of Iowa, at number 58 in the second round. Now we are in the third round, 87th pick that we got from Miami. Who should we take? Ken Muller, listen, I get your point. The Niners might address tackle next year, either in the offseason or in the draft. But me personally, I think they're cutting it too close. Now, if somebody pops up in the free agency, that's one thing. But there's never certainty that you're going to get a good tackle in free agency without paying a pretty penny. Can they afford to take a tackle next year? I mean, God forbid Trent Williams gets hurt. We're going to be in a pickle. I think taking a tackle this year is best for the Niners, stating how far Trent Williams is in year-wise. But I get your point. I can see the Niners definitely taking a tackle next year. But I hope they take a tackle this year. That's just my thoughts. Give me a second real quick. All right. So we took a tackle and an edge. What do we need next? Let's look at the receivers. What receivers are available? Now, Ted Hurst, I like. I like this kid out of Georgia State. I really do. I think this kid is special. He has only 7 drops. He's 6'3", 195. He's 21. Hurst is a long, lean, outside X receiver who brings a solid baseline of blocking. What do we know about Kyle? If you want to be on the field, you got to block. This guy can block. And consistent catch ability to the roll. He has a pro-level vertical speed, but it takes some time to build up. You bring this kid under Mike Evans to learn from. This kid learns from Mike Evans. Now, Mike Evans is going to be phenomenal for the 49ers in 2026. I love the pickup of Mike Evans. I love that the Niners took him and brought him in. I think the addition of Mike Evans is going to be wonderful, especially in the red zone. He's going to open it up for Christian McCaffrey. He's going to open it up for Kittle. He's even going to open it up for Ricky. As long as Ricky can stay healthy, big question, I think Mike Evans is going to be amazing. But we need somebody to take his spot once he's gone. He's going to be here for a year, 2 years tops. Anything over 2 years is gravy on the potatoes with Mike Evans. I think this kid, Hurst, can learn from Mike Evans. He plays the same position, X. And then when Evans moves on, this guy can just step right in. Let me know your thoughts, because I'm going to take him. I like this kid. So I want to know your thoughts on my decision to take. Now, there's another kid that I like that if I wanted to take later is this kid right here. Eric McAllister. I like Eric McAllister. He's 6'4" or 6'3", 205, 23 years old. Same thing. So if we didn't want to take Ted Hurst with the third pick in the first, or the first pick in the third round, we probably can get Eric in the fourth round. Now, before I take Hurst, let's see who else is available. What other position can we look at? Let's look at corners. You got Devin Moore, Malik Muhammad, Will Lee. What do you guys think about Ted Hurst? Give me your thoughts on Ted Hurst. What do you guys thought on that receiver? Look at tight ends. All right, we got Michael Trigg, Baylor, I like Justin Jolly. I like this kid out of, North Carolina State. I like this kid. He's not as good of a blocker that I would like him to be, but this boy can catch the ball. Imagine having George Kittle and Justin Jolly as your 1 and 2 tight end. This kid will just, the things that Kyle Shanahan can call with these two guys on the field. But I don't know if the Niners are going to take a tight end in the third round. That's a nice pick. I also like Marlon Keane out of Michigan. But I am, let's see here. Let me see what other pass rushers there are. I like Mason Rieger out of Wisconsin, but I can take him later. I'm going to go receiver. I'm not going to waste too much time on here with being undecisive. I'm going to go ahead and take my receiver and see what happens. So I'm taking Ted. I like this kid. So we got our edge, our tackle, and our receiver. Now, I see a player that I love. In the 4th round at 127, Bud Clark. This kid right here. Safety. I'm in love with. I'm in love with this kid. He's 6'2", 190. He's 23 years old. Clark is a long, explosive playmaker with strong ball skills. But his lack of strength in the run defense will need to be managed. That's the downside. Can he stop the run? I like him. What do you guys thought? We need someone to replace Jair Brown. I'm okay with Mustafa, but Jair Brown is not something that I'm comfortable with going forward. As a rotational piece, I'm okay with Jair Brown. As a starter, absolutely not. What are your thoughts? I like safety. I think we need safety. So I'm going to go ahead and take our safety here. I think the running ability we can develop. All right. So we are in the 4th round at 133. We're taking an edge, a tackle, a receiver, and a safety. I apologize for my birds in the background. Please forgive me, but they're my babies and they're in the cage and they want to be out here on my shoulder. I may let them out if they keep getting loud. All right. So we took a receiver, we took a safety, we took a tackle, and an edge. Let's look at another edge. You can never have enough pass rush if you ask me. Now, this kid here, I like. There's two edges that I like. Mason, he had 32 hurries, 7 hits, and 6 sacks. He hasn't played a lot of football. He's kind of raw. That's the thing with him. He's raw. Can Chris Kasarik build and make him into that pass rusher that I think he can be? I'm going to take him because there's another kid that I like, Tucker, out of Western Michigan. I like this kid. But for the sake of this draft, I'm taking Mason. We're getting our second defensive end. I want your thoughts. So far, do you agree with my picks? Disagree? Let me know in the comments. Keep it respectful, but let me know. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. All right. So we're not doing no more trades, by the way. 4th round, 138. We have receiver Reggie. That kid that I like, Eric McAllister, is still on here. We got the tight end that I like as well, Marlon out of Michigan. We got Barton, Jagger Barton out of Kentucky. I like this center. We got tackle. We got Nicholas Singleton, running back out of Penn State. I'm going to go with our center right here. I'm taking our center right here. I want to know your thoughts on the center that I just took. Roberto, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Boy, I'm not going to hit that all draft, I bet. Welcome to the show, my friend. All right, so round 4, pick 139. 139. We took a center, we took a 2 edge rushers, a safety, a receiver. Oh my goodness. I know, Crazy Juice, this is the time to take him. I like Eric McAllister, though, out of TCU, though, the receiver. But I know we already taken Ted Hurst. All right, so let's take the tight end here. And I knew McAllister was going to be gone, but it's okay. We took. Now, here's a tackle that can definitely play guard. Here's a tackle that can definitely play guard if we need to. And CJ Davis. He's 6'5", 335, senior, age 22. Let's look at the running backs, though. Jaden Ott, I like out of Oklahoma. I like this kid. I think this kid's going to be really, really good. I don't know about you guys, but I think drafting a running back is not really good for the Niners. I think the Niners should focus more on undrafted running back, unless there's a kid that truly Shanahan, covets. So best available player, Devon Marshall out of North Carolina. I like that corner. Diego Pounds, Mississippi, Ole Miss, tackle, pretty good. Jeremiah Wright, guard, Arbor, pretty good. I'm going to go with, for the sake of time, I'm going to take, how many picks I have left? I have 1 pick left. All right, you know what? Let's see what they trade us, if I can pick up a couple more picks. If not, so be it. They'll give us 160 for 151. We get we'll get one. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take it. And I knew why, because the guy that I wanted is still there. All right, so now instead of having just 1 pick, we have 3 more picks. And this allows me to pick up an extra guy that I like. So I'm going to go ahead and take tackle, which we can move to guard. In my opinion, to play guard while Trent is there. So I'm going to take from Illinois, J.C. Davis. I like this kid. Now, since I have 2 more spots, which I picked up by making that trade, there's DJ Harvey is a good corner. Micah Morris. Now, we took a tackle that can play guard. So do we really need a guard right now? But I like Georgia Bulldogs. Did the other safety go? Hold on real quick. Oh, they took my other safety. I didn't think he was going to go that high, but he went up there. Where did he go? Hold on, guys. I'm curious of where my safety went. My Longhorn safety. Is he still here? Hold on real quick. Am I just not seeing him? No, he's already taken. Where did he go? Oh wow. I don't know where he went, but I know he's not on the board. Linebacker. I don't know if we need linebacker, to be honest with you, but I'll take a look. Because I think bringing back Greenlaw and we can continue to develop the kid that we took out of TCU. Eric out of USC is pretty good. The linebacker that I like is, where is he? Is he on here? Here you go. Louisiana. This kid right here needs some developing, but he's going to be a good linebacker when it's all said and done. In my opinion, what a name, right? Scooby Williams. Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you? Xavier from Arkansas. Lander from Utah. Jimmy from Michigan. Wesley from Miami Hurricanes. Carson, Iowa. Wade, Clemson. Jordan, San Jose State, representing San Jose. Tristan, Missouri. I don't know about you, David. I don't know if the Niners are going to take a linebacker in this year's draft. I'll be shocked if they do, to be honest with you. We got Barkley representing in my chat. What's up, Mr. Hardy from Barkley? Welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Who do I like here? I like, honestly, they took my other safety that I really, really wanted. We took a guard. I took 2 tackles already. I know David mentioned linebacker. You're welcome, sir. Welcome. Bienvenido al canal de Let's Talk Niners con Niner Sickness. Venido en español, en inglés. English and in Spanish. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take, I'm not going to go into the linebacker route. Sorry, David. I'm going to go DJ Harvey, corner. I'm taking him a little high now that I want to. Give me a second real quick, though. Oops, wrong way. Let me see something real quick. I got 2 spots. I'm taking a 241 out of USC. Let's go. And then in the beginning of the show, I said there was a tackle that I wanted. He can definitely play guard. Definitely can play guard. Absolutely can play guard. Where is he? Let me see. Trying to think of his name. Where is he? I know he's going to go way in the... Oops, that's not it. Is he still here? He was taken already? This guy... I knew this tackle was starting to move up the rank. Normally he's here. Every mock draft that I've done on my own, he's always been available. Boo, you're not a USC fan, huh? I got you, brother. I got you. They took my tackle, my secret sauce. My goodness. No, they didn't. They took my secret sauce. I don't know if I'm taking three edges. No way. All right. You know what? If David Mininer is still here, let's see what we have a line. Let's take a linebacker with the last pick. He's probably not even going to make the team. And let's take Scooby, just because of the name. Scooby Williams out of Texas A&M. Just because of the name. Cap Niner, I like him as well, but the kid that I wanted was taken already. All right. So I got, for Cassius Hall, I got an A. For Jennings, I got an A minus. For Ted Hurst, I got a C, but I love this receiver. Whether the Niners take him or not, remember this name. This kid's going to be special. I got an A for Bud Clark, our safety. A B plus for Mason Rieger, defensive end from Wisconsin. I got a C plus for Jagger Barton, center. A B minus for tight end Marlon Keelan. If I messed that up, I apologize. We got an A for tackle J.C. Davis, which in my belief, he will play guard. J.C. Davis will play guard in the NFL, not really tackle. We took center DJ Harvey, C+. We took linebacker Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you? Williams. And we got a C+. We got a total grade of an A minus. Not bad. An A minus for my first official mock draft 1.0. Let me know, guys, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on my picks? Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. So you guys can get a good view. So you guys can get a good view of who I took. These are the players that I took in my first 1.0 draft. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna continue at this portion of the live. I'm gonna talk to you guys, the viewers. I want to get your input. These are my picks. Do you agree? Disagree? I'm okay with criticism. Give me all the criticism. As long as you're respectful, give me the criticism. CJ Davis, DJ Harvey, Scooby Dooby Doo, and I got an A minus for my total grade. I traded twice. I traded with Miami. I gave up our 27th. I got their 30th, their 87th, third round, and their 5th, 151. And then I traded with Green Bay, gave them our 5th round, 151, for their 5th round, 160, their 7th round, 236, and their 7th round, 255. Now, with 236 and 255, I took Harvey and Scooby. So, what are you guys' thoughts, guys? Let me know. It's okay if you don't like my draft. It's really okay if you guys don't like my draft. Let me know in the comments. Captain Niner. Oh, hey, what's up, my brother? My Uso. JC is moving up the board. Yeah. Some of these players, the closer we get to the actual draft, a lot of these players that are being projected to go low are starting to move up quietly, but moving up. Crazy Jew says, Great mock draft. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very, very much. So that is my draft for the Niners. We'll see what the Niners actually do. I think the Niners will go edge with number 27. If they take tackle, depending who's on the board, I will be happy. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go tackle. Now, if there's a certain receiver, a certain safety that I like, I'm gonna be fired up if they take him. But I think he'll be gone before the Niners draft. Crazy Juice says he's not quite sure regarding my pick of Bud Clark. This kid has to work on his tackles. Not his tackle, but stopping the run. This kid can move sideline to sideline. He's a way better player than Jair Brown. He's an automatically upgrade from Jair Brown. I think he can learn to get better in stopping the run. I think this kid, whether he plays for us or whoever he goes to, is going to be a very good player in his NFL career. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Probably not. Is he going to be a very solid player? Absolutely, in my opinion. So we'll see which direction the Niners go. All I know, guys, is the Niners were getting closer and closer. Let me move this down real quick. Hold on, guys. Oop, wrong way. All right. So, in my opinion, the Niners are going to make good picks. I love what they did last year. I'm looking forward to see what they do this year. I love that the Niners took Mike Evans. I love that the Niners took Christian Kirk, a slot receiver, a very dependable third in Kirk. Instead of third in Juwan, it'll be third in Kirk. I feel bad for Juwan Jennings, man. But he outpriced himself this year. I think if Juwan Jennings would have hit the market last year or the year before, he probably would have got what he was looking for. I think that when you look at the highest paid receiver this year was the kid from the Colts. I can't remember the kid that he was already on the Colts. He became a free agent, but the Colts re-signed him. I think they gave him in the ballpark of $28 million. When I saw that, and then I saw the rest of the receivers get paid, I'm like, there's no way that Juwan Jennings is going to get anywhere in the neighborhood of $20 million per season. The only hope that Juwan Jennings has at this point is waiting for, unfortunately, a major injury to occur in training camp. Not that we're wishing that. Pierce, thank you. Yes, Pierce from the Colts. If somebody gets hurt in camp and they are a contender and they need a receiver, I can see them taking Juwan Jennings based out of need, not out of want. But I believe Juwan Jennings outbid himself in this year's free agency. I'm not saying he's not worth it. It's just based on how the receivers went, I just didn't see Juwan Jennings signing anywhere for that amount. He's going to have to drop that amount. Now, for those that think he still might come to the Niners, I doubt it. At this point, Juwan Jennings coming back to the 49ers is really going to have to swallow his pride. I think Juwan Jennings is really going to have to swallow his pride, accept defeat, and come back to the Niners. I think Jawan Jennings does need a refresh start somewhere else. Maybe the Titans with Saleh. As long as he doesn't go to the Rams. I don't think he'll go to the Seahawks. But as long as he doesn't go, even if he goes to the Cardinals, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Jawan Jennings going to the Cardinals. But I'm not okay with him going to the Rams.
Oh, wow.
JSN, the Sea Chickens, got $42.5 million a season. And let's be honest, he is definitely worth it. That kid is special. He is special. I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him. I think he deserves it. I don't like that it's with the Sea Chickens, but as a receiver, hey man, get paid when you can, and when you deliver, get your money. I don't know if he comes back to the Niners though, Cap. How much humility do you think it's going to take in his part to come back to the 49ers? At least if he goes to the Texans, or if he goes to the Titans, if he goes to Washington, any other place, he can start fresh. Coming back to the Niners, I wasn't impressed by JSN. Really? Now, let me ask you a true question. Were you not impressed because you're biased because he's a Sea Chicken or a Seahawks player? Because to me, I don't like the Sea Chickens. I can't stand the Rams, the Lambs. The Cardinals, I feel sorry for. But I can acknowledge players and how good they play regardless where they play. I can acknowledge that JSN is a good player, even if he plays for the team that I don't like. I think he did impress me. He has impressed me since he came out of college. And I think he deserves it. Did he play his best in the Super Bowl? But I think he deserves that money. I tell you one thing, I don't think the Seahawks makes it to the Super Bowl without him. I really don't. David Avila, my friend, my old friend. How you doing, sir? Niners best in the world. Yes, they are. What up, Niner Familia? Super psyched. Sickness is back. Ooh, missed you, brother. I miss you guys. Like I said in the past, I do photography. I do videography. I do weddings and stuff like that. And so even though I haven't done any weddings lately, but even as a hobby, I've been enjoying photography. So even as a hobby, I've been going out taking, like yesterday, I did a sports event. I took video and pictures of a soccer game, and it was fun. So I've been kind of tied up with that. But I miss you guys as well, and I'm happy to be back, even if it's a couple of videos here and there. Humbled, maybe. But also, like you said, timing for him was bad more than anything. Absolutely, bro. I'm telling you, if he would have went free agency, he couldn't. But if he would have went last year, he would have had some bites. This year, it was tough. It's not biased. Okay, it's your opinion. I respect your opinion. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. Look who it is. The most beautiful, wonderful, smartest girl alive. My beautiful loving goddaughter, Jade. How you doing, Jade? Nino loves you. Drum roll. Everyone, I'm going to brag for a minute. Everyone, I'm going to brag for a minute. This is my beautiful goddaughter. Say, everyone in the chat, do me a favor. Say hello to Jade, my beautiful goddaughter, who I love very much. Can everybody do me a favor in the chat? Say hello to my goddaughter, Jade. Let's make her feel special on this Easter/Resurrection Day. Much appreciated, everyone. Seattle made and won the Super Bowl because of the defense. The defense did not hurt. I get it. But some of the plays that JSN made were incredible. For sure. You were more impressed by Christian Gonzalez, huh? I hear you. So, guys, what do you think the Niners record is going to be this year? I've been hearing a lot of Niner fans, and I'm going to wind it down. I've been hearing a lot of Niner fans say that the Niners are not going to make it far. I heard a lot of Niner fans saying that the Niners are not going to make it far this year. They're not going to win the division. They're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. And maybe you're right. Maybe they are right. Thank you, David Villa, for the love. Saying hi to my goddaughter Jade. Maybe the Niners don't make it to Super Bowl. I think the Niners have a great chance of winning the division. Yes, Seattle has a good defense. Yes, the Rams have great players. They're picking 13 overall thanks to the dumb Falcons. But I think the Niners are a very good team. Are they up there in age? Yes. I think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback. I think the addition of Mike Evans is going to be superb for this offensive line. George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, even Christian Kirk. It's going to be very helpful in that offensive line. We did not have a problem moving the ball. Maybe against Seattle, but we didn't have that true X receiver against Seattle. We have it now with Mike Evans. Our defense got better just by the health and coming back. Nick Bosa coming back. Mikael Williams coming back from injury. Fred Warner coming back from injury. Bringing back Greenlaw. I don't know if you guys understand how great it was when I heard that Greenlaw got signed, even for a year. Fred Warner can concentrate on what he's doing in that backfield because he knows that him and Greenlaw are on the same page. Fred Warner had a great year into his injury, but he had to kind of babysit D. Winters. Fred Warner had to babysit D. Winters, kind of help him out, and it took away from what Fred Warner loves to do. Now that we have Dre Greenlaw back, Fred Warner doesn't have to worry about D. Winters. He knows that Greenlaw is going to do what he does best. That's a super addition. Bring in Raheem Morris He's going to help our secondary get better. This team won 12 games last season with a bunch of injured players. I think Kyle Shanahan was robbed for Coach of the Year once again. I think he deserved to be Coach of the Year. But we went 12-5, I believe, with all the injured players, and we went to Philadelphia and took out the champs and the Eagles with a bunch of injured players on the sideline. And we won 12 games. Now, our schedule was easier last year. I get it. I get that. But the number of injuries that we had, last year, even with that schedule being easier, it was hard for us to win games because of our injuries, and we still did. So I am very, very confident that the Niners are going to be very competitive in 2026. They just got to stay, and this is the $1 million question or point or comment. They got to stay healthy. They got to stay healthy. Otherwise, they can kiss their playoffs.
Bye.
They got to stay healthy. But I think the Niners will win a lot of games. The people don't realize the addition of Mike Evans, how much that boosters that offensive line, that offense. We have that vertical threat now, which opens up the run game. A lot of us complained last year. Christian McCaffrey's getting old. He can't run the ball as good as before. They were putting 8 people in a box. Now that we have that vertical threat with Mike Evans, and if Ricky Parcell can stay healthy and Christian Kirk in there, it's going to open up the run game much more. And you're going to see Christian McCaffrey run the way you've been used to seeing him run. And you're going to realize maybe he is not as old as I thought he was. Or his age is affecting him as much as I thought it did. Those two additions of Christian Kirk and Mike Evans. And I'm only thinking about 2026. I'm not thinking about 2027 or 28. Just for the season that we're going into, I believe they're going to be very effective for our 49ers. So those, get ready for a great season. As long as we can stay healthy, we will be competitive with the Rams. We will be competitive with Seattle. And we will be competitive in the NFC. But we got to remain healthy. Well, if defense don't fear Purdy, they're kind of dumb. Anybody that still don't think Brock Purdy is a good quarterback, I don't know what you're watching. I know a lot of Niner fans, a lot of people say that Brock Purdy is not good. He's not he is definitely a franchise quarterback. I'm old school. I watched Joe Montana come in from Notre Dame round 3. And the first 2 years, Brock Purdy's better than Joe Montana. first 2 years. I like to watch film and I like to watch tape. Is he your typical prototype? No. Is he able to move like Josh Allen or big enough to like Josh? No. But for this system, he runs it well. No, I'm comparing him, and I'm saying he's better than Joe Montana those 2 first years. Not overall. Anybody that takes my context out of play, that's up to you. Joe Montana, when he first came in, wasn't that good. You know, we all remember the catch, right? Remember the catch in the NFC Championship game that we beat Dallas by the catch from Montana to Dwight Clark that prevailed us to go to the first Super Bowl? That was beautiful. I enjoyed it. I was there at the game. But did you know that Joe Montana had turned the ball over 4 times in that game? Did you know that Joe Montana had turned over the ball 4 times in that game? But it was overlooked because we won that game and then we went on and beat Cincinnati and we became Super Bowl champions. But it doesn't take away that and I love Joe Montana. He's my favorite quarterback. I love Steve Young, Joe Montana. Joe Montana's the GOAT. During the time of a Niner. But the mock, the hate for Brock Purdy, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand the hate for Brock Purdy. He's not good enough. He's mediocre. He can't do this. He can't do that. Yes, he can, and yes, he will. You put a good team around, and people say, well, you got to put a good team around him. You got to put a good team around any quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen is a phenomenal quarterback. I love that kid. And he can definitely put the team on his shoulders. But he hasn't made it to the Super Bowl yet. You need good players around you. And you may say, wow, it's hard for him to make it to the Super Bowl with the Lamar Jacksons or the Patrick Mahomes in that AFC. Well, last year, there was no Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, and there was no Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen should have taken the opportunity to win those games and made it to the Super Bowl that year. But yet, the Patriots made it. And I'm not trying to take away from Josh Allen. I think he's a great Hall of Fame quarterback. But people don't give Brock Purdy enough credit. They don't. And the thing about me, people ask me, would you trade Brock Purdy for Mahomes? Would you trade him for Lamar Jackson? Would you trade him for Joe Burrow? Would you trade him for Josh Allen? The reality is no. Why? Because those are just conversations. The truth is, those quarterbacks that I mentioned are great for their particular team. But the Niners and the way the Niners run our system, Brock Purdy is perfect to run this ship. He understands Kyle playbook. He understands what Kyle wants to do. And they're able to work together good. I don't get it. I really don't understand the hate for Brock Purdy. You don't have to love him. Is he going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback? I don't know. Is he ever going to do this or do that? I don't know. For what I've seen, I trust Brock Purdy. Now, does he turn the ball over sometimes more than I want to? Yes. Kind of reminds me of Brett Favre. But he's a gunslinger. He's trying to make plays. Sometimes those plays don't work out and they turn into interceptions. But one thing I like about Brock Purdy, even if he throws an interception, he puts it behind his mind and he goes and plays with no fear. A lot of quarterbacks out there, they throw one interception and now they're not playing their type of quarterback. Now they're kind of nervous to throw a second interception. Brock Purdy doesn't care. I will never say, I'm talking about the interception situation, bro. Come on. Now Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions in his career. I don't know how old you are, young man, but Brett Favre was a turnover machine. But he won a lot of games. That's my reference of Brock Purdy. My reference is that Brock Purdy throws a lot of interceptions, but he wins games. And that's what you need to do to be good in the NFL. I'm not saying he's better than Brett Favre. I'm saying Brett Favre was a turnover machine, but he won a lot of games for his Green Bay Packers. I trust Brock Purdy. I believe Brock Purdy can take us to another Super Bowl and win. The Super Bowl against Kansas City in 2023. Right? It wasn't Brock's fault that we lost that game. Brock Purdy did everything in his power to win that game. And matter of fact, and this is for Great Tone, 1705 or 765, excuse me. He played better than Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. Brock Purdy played better than Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. But the reality is, Greenlaw got hurt running into the field. That devastated the defense. Christian McCaffrey fumbled when he normally doesn't fumble. That crazy ball hit the receiver in the leg on special teams. And we lost momentum in that Super Bowl. Brock Purdy was winning that Super Bowl and took us into overtime. And we lost our right guard. Bradford came in and totally allowed their best defender to come through untouched. So, for those that hate Brock Purdy, fine. You hate on Brock Purdy. But I'm going to give Brock Purdy his due. I know my film. I know my football enough to defend Brock Purdy against the haters, against those that don't think he's good enough. That's nonsense and stupidity to me. That is correct, David. And I'm glad to have Brock Purdy. Now, if Josh Allen was on this team before Brock Purdy, I would have loved to have Josh Allen. I'm not dumb. Josh Allen is a better quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback. Brock Purdy plays better in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson, excuse me. I get it. But Brock Purdy is not Alex Smith. Brock Purdy is not, what's the name of that quarterback, number 10? Jimmy Garoppolo. I heard some people say, oh, Brock Purdy, he's just like Jimmy Garoppolo. No, he's not. Stop hating. Yeah, Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions. He won a lot of games, but he was a turnover machine. If I asked you guys who was the better quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre? If you know your football, you will say Aaron Rodgers by a mile. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers did not turn over the ball as much as Brett Favre. They won the game in credit to this Kansas City Chiefs. And by the looks of it, I think you are a Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know, but it's all good. All I know is the Niners would have won that Super Bowl. And they definitely did not lose it because of Brock Purdy. They lost it because of the defense. And I understand why the defense played the way they played. Losing Greenlaw the way they lost him was a huge blow to that defense. No, he didn't. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Let's see. Let's paint a picture. Let me paint a picture for my friend here. I'm going to paint a picture. Tell me if you guys agree or disagree with me. Let's go back to that game. Jimmy Garoppolo, 2019, going against Green Bay in the NFC Championship game to make it to the first Super Bowl with Jimmy and Kyle, right, and John. How many passes did Jimmy throw in that game? Did we run the ball more than we threw the ball? Did we put our trust in Raheem Mostert more than we did Jimmy Garoppolo to get us to that Super Bowl against the Packers? Now let's move forward. 2023 NFC Championship. San Francisco 49ers against the Detroit Lions. Did we win that game because of our running game? Or did we win that game because of Brock Purdy? So you're going to tell me that Garoppolo won more playoff games than Brock Purdy? You definitely don't know what you're saying, brother. Thank you, Crazy Juice. And do me a favor, Crazy Juice. Bring up the stats of Brock Purdy in the playoffs. If you don't mind. What's up, Papa? Brock is better than Hurts. Yes, he is. Come on, brother. He's definitely better than Hurts. He's better than Dak Prescott, in my opinion. Okay. Well, you're agreeing with me there. 5-3. Thank you, Crazy Juice. This is my whole point. If you're going to hate on a player, that's fine. But come out with the truth, bro. Don't say that Jimmy Garoppolo has more playoff wins than Brock Purdy. At least if you're going to talk smack, know what you're talking about. Know what you're talking about. Don't come on here and talk bad about Brock and then not even have the accurate information. Thank you, Johnny. That is correct. Jimmy is not anywhere near Brock Purdy's level. He is nowhere near Brock Purdy's level. Hypocrites, that's your opinion, bro. But you making a comment about Jimmy having a better playoff record than Brock Purdy without fact checking yourself, that was kind of dumb. Jimmy G wouldn't have been able to come back and win that game against the Lions. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from Jimmy. Jimmy did his best while he was here. Kudos to Jimmy G. But in no way is he better than freaking Brock. Yeah, and he has a Super Bowl win. But let me ask you this, Papa. Jalen Hurts, under pressure, makes mistakes. Brock Purdy, under pressure, he thrives. He thrives under pressure. Dak Prescott, under pressure, makes crucial mistakes. Brock Purdy thrives under pressure. Yep. Niners won games because of Brock plenty of times. Niners never won because of Jimmy. Absolutely. That's right, Johnny. That is 100% true. So I get a little bit upset when they talk negative about Brock Purdy because I don't know why they hate on him. I really don't, especially Niner fans. I know he's not Patrick Mahomes. I know he's not Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I think he's better than Joe Burrow so far. I think the only three quarterbacks that are, in my opinion, and make sure I make this clear, the only three quarterbacks above Brock Purdy, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson are better than Brock Purdy. Anybody else, I can sit there and have an argument with. I can argue the Joe Burrows. I can argue the kid from San Diego. I can make arguments about other quarterbacks. The kid from Love from Green Bay. Williams from the Bears. I can make arguments about Brock Purdy being better or as good. The only three quarterbacks I would not dare to argue is against Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson, in my humble opinion. He does. You don't watch film? You must not watch film if you're thinking that I'm not accurate when I say Brock Purdy thrives under pressure. He's the most accurate quarterback under pressure. Look at the stats. Brock Purdy is the more accurate quarterback under pressure. Get out of here. Yes, a way better O-line. What's up, my brother from another mother? What's up, Daniel? Welcome to the show. Happy Easter / Resurrection Day. Welcome, brother. No, I am nothing. I am not a homer, bro. Trust me. Let me put this in perspective. And Papa might get mad at me. A lot of Niner fans in here might get mad at me. I personally think that Dan Marino was a better quarterback than Joe Montana. He did not say that on his show. I love Joe Montana. I love Joe Montana. But I think Dan Marino was a better quarterback than Joe Montana. That right there alone should tell you I am not a homer of my team. But I love Joe Montana. I love what he did with the Niners. He won 4 Super Bowls. I love the guy. I just think that Dan Marino was a better and more accurate passer. He just did not have a run game, and he didn't have a defense in Miami. So anybody that thinks I'm a homer with that statement doesn't know football or doesn't know me. Yep. And I love Baldinger. I do. I get it. And you don't got to apologize, John. You don't. And I get it. Some people can, I hope I don't discourage you from watching my show or, I'm this, whatever. Every one of us are entitled to our opinion. But I get it. Again, I love Joe Montana. I really do. I just think if you put Joe Montana on the Dolphins team and you put Dan Marino on the Niners team back in the day, we probably would have had more Super Bowls. But that's just me. But I appreciate you being respectful, Johnny. You're awesome, Johnny. You are awesome. Thank you for being so respectful. Yep. And there was always pressure. Remember that game against the Giants where the Giants came into Levi's? They were bringing the kitchen sink on every play against Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy just carved them. Yep. Yeah, I just don't understand the hate. You don't have to love Purdy. You really don't. You don't have to love Brock Purdy. You don't. But the hate for him is just ridiculous. Yeah. Good point. Very good point, Crazy Juice. You'll lose that argument every time. Not because you're wrong, just because they're biased. Papa J, God bless you soul. The star for the time to throw in the pocket is before pressure on the quarterback. So his legs have nothing to do. You don't know football, bro. I'm sorry. With all respect, you don't know football. Or at least you don't watch football. You don't break that film. And I can say that because of the comments you're making. Thank you, David. It's just this hate is absurd. Stats can say one thing, but the tape says another. I 100 and 1,000 agree with Papa in this comment. Watch the footage. Watch the tape. Watch the tape, and it will tell you the truth. The tape doesn't lie. Yeah, and who sent who home in the playoffs with an injured team? If you're going to hate on Purdy, hate on him. That's fine. That's your opinion. But the whole Purdy is not a good. It's not a good player. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes, a little longer than I wanted to be. I'm going to jump off. Papa, thank you for joining. David McNiner, thank you for joining. Even my friend Where is he? Even my friend Great One, 765. Thank you for joining the chat, brother. I don't agree with your statements, but I appreciate you keeping it respectful, and I appreciate you showing up. To my friend Johnny Vallejo, I hope I did not discourage you on watching my channel. If you did, I apologize. With the comment of Dan Marino, I'm just entitled to my opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. But thank you for your stopping by and saying hello. And my brother from another mother, Crazy Juice, always a pleasure on having you on the show. Daniel Burry Sports, thank you. Highlights now. Thank you for coming in here as well. For those that watch my first mock draft, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. And remember, happy Easter and happy Resurrection Day. God loves you. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed. Until next time, your boy Niner Sickness is out of here. God bless, and we'll see you on the next live.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.